Marko here from Fair Realty in Victoria, BC. Really tough times right now in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. Real estate transaction volume has dropped off the cliff. It's probably going to be like that for months to come, which means real estate commissions are also way down. And for the last 10 years, I've always really preached keeping your overhead really, really low. And I continue to do that, which makes it a lot easier to get through times like this. So first of all, I've been in a value brokerage, and what I mean by a value brokerage is my brokerage charges me $150 a month for something called a desk fee. Many of the other brokerages are anywhere between $500 and $1,000 per month. I've never really seen the value of going out and being at a brokerage with a flashy name and expensive offices. So first of all, my monthly overhead with my brokerage is by far the lowest in the industry. Second of all, my office that you see behind me, it's a garage. So, I don't have fancy office space because most of the deals are done via DocuSign these days. I don't need a huge office for some sort of marketing tactic, because the office in itself is really not essential anymore, given that all the contracts are done online. Most sellers you meet at their house, and buyers you show them properties. There's really not much point in meeting at the office. Other things, I drive an electric car, so I don't have a gas expense. I was lucky enough that I've kept my electric car for 5 years. I decided not to get a new one, so I don't have a massive lease payment or anything along those lines. So everything I've done over the last 10 years has been always in terms of keeping overhead low. For example, I also don't advertise. You'll never see me on the back of buses or bus stops, etc. And keeping your overhead super low really helps in times like this because it's easier to make it through it. In the last 2 weeks, we've already lost about 20 realtors, and I predict if things continue the way they are, we could probably lose 300 to 400 realtors who are simply not able to cover all their expenses due to high overhead. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.